This
2,
conference will
1.
now be recorded.
There it is. Frank,
Okay.
yeah.
I was diagnosed in 1997. I've had it since 1983 or 84. It's been with me. Secondary progressive. I'm not on any medications whatsoever. Just, little blood pressure medication and keep my blood thin and that kind of stuff. So here I am.
Very good. And Frank's not in Pittsburgh. Frank is in Kansas.
I am in Kansas. Me and Toto.
And Jennifer and I are in Michigan, and so we'll jump it down then to Elizabeth. Speaking of Michigan, who are you, Elizabeth? Where are you from, and how long have you had MS?
I'm Elizabeth Rhines, soon to be Elizabeth Roan. I'm going through divorce, and I've had MS since May 21st of last year, 2009.
Wow. And we'll bring it over then to Kim. Kim, where are you, and how long have you had the MS?
I am in Iowa and I was diagnosed in 2012. My symptoms started in 2001.
Wow. And then in Carly, how about you?
In the greater Detroit area, diagnosed in 2011. Had symptoms for probably about a year before really recognizable. I think I had some symptoms in high school. Relapse remitting on Ocrevus.
Wow. And Nancy, how long have you had MS?
I just had an anniversary. It was 20 years, July 4th.
Wow. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah. But I probably had it 20 years prior to that.
Wow.
And I'm on Rituxan, the other of the one that Carly's on. And, I get mine every 3 months. And Dr. Rock Hyman is my neurologist. And we're from Pittsburgh. We actually, if you know anything about Pittsburgh, we're near the zoo in Highland Park. And my husband was actually diagnosed the same year with diabetes on Valentine's Day, the same year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Quite a year.
Oh, it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, this is where Jennifer is looking at me. We really, what's going on in life? I'm just like, work's been really busy for me, so I'm just like trying to come down from a long day. So,
What do you do for work, Dan? Just out of curiosity. I know you talked about you did journalism or something back in the day. I didn't know if that's something you still did or.
I work for Ruffalo Noel Levitz, and actually, it's a higher ed marketing agency, and actually it's based there in Cedar Rapids, back in Iowa, and I work remotely for them full time. So I'm, they say remote, and it's not like just putting my time whenever. I work legitimately like 9 to 6 because I got to be like on Iowa time, and so just a lot of writing and editing and marketing for different universities and stuff. And so it's just a really busy time. So you're just like, oh my gosh, it's like so busy for this time of year. I think we've kind of flipped how we did things, and rather than do everything late in the year and have all of it at once, we're trying to pace it out throughout the year, and which makes it just as busy. You just don't have as much pressure because you can always like wiggle on deadlines because we're working so far ahead, but it's busy nonetheless. So
that's Dan.
So that's my life, and that's what I do. There's Michael.
Hi, Michael. I think you're muted, Michael.
Michael, you're muted.
Still muted.
Look at it.
There.
I am not that good at lip breaking, Michael. Sorry.
Try
I'm
him.
terrible lip reader.
How do you
Yay!
There it is.
Yay.
Everyone's surviving?
Yes.
We are. How about you out there in Arizona?
Wow.
It's hot, but surviving nicely.
Nice.
Nice. We went around and we just said hello to everyone. We have some, I don't know if you and Elizabeth were here at the same time. And then Nancy is here and she's new. But the rest, we've been here before. So, you know, the usual cast of characters.
You speaking to me?
Yes, Michael, sorry.
Yeah, I got Rick's email yesterday, and I just, as you can see, it's still light out here. I'm losing track of the time.
Good.
Generally try to do one meeting a month, probably the first one.
Nice. Well, thank you
Yeah,
for.
and in fact, I have a question for everybody. I have relapsing remitting MS. My back, I have lots of problems with my walking, and I think my back is really weak, and I get spasms. And I inject Capaxone in certain parts of my leg. I never know if I'm going to get the spasms or not, but I think it's all related. It's something like there's a name for it, lumbar something or other is associated with MS. I wonder if anyone else has ever heard of it or has a weakness in your lower back.
I actually have that. I'm Nancy, yes.
You've had it?
Yeah, and in fact, I'm going on the 27th to get a MRI on that and an MRI on my neck because I haven't been able to walk very well for about 4 weeks since I got my last treatment. It was right before my treatment. And we never know if it's what I get an MS hug a lot, you know, and so we didn't know if it was the MS hug or not. So he thinks in the middle of an exasperation right now, and we're just going to make sure that's what it is, and there are no new lesions, you know, they're stable before we go any further with something. Because I just had my Rituxan about 3 weeks ago. So, but you know, the back, yeah, and I know what you're talking about. It hurts. It really hurts. A lot of pain.
I had never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Would either of you mind sharing about that? I have not experienced that yet, but I'm curious what it feels like.
Do you know
Go
what
ahead,
back
Michael.
pains are, Carly?
You.
You know what a spasm is?
I've had the spasms, but so specifically in my low back, it does generally hurt. We just got a new bed even, and I'm hoping that will help. But I don't know that it's necessarily a spasm. I guess I'm just trying to figure out exactly what it is you guys are talking about.
A spasm, I feel them coming on.
Mm.
Like after I inject Capaxone in the wrong part of my leg.
Oh, okay.
And then I know it's coming, and I sit down, get ready for it. It lasts about 2 or 3 minutes, just tightening up all the muscles, and it's excruciatingly painful, but I know it's going to go away. And
But it happens in your back after you inject the
my lower back, yeah, both sides of my lower back, the muscles contract, and then I also noticed that if I walk more than 2.5 or 3 miles, I sort of tilt to one side or tilt to the back, and can't walk very, very, very well. And actually, my wife figured out that it's all connected, and there's stenosis or something of the lumbar region that it was on the MS website, so they're aware of it.
Interesting.
I never put it together before. So this is, maybe look on the website.
Okay. I don't take Copaxone anymore, but I did prior to being on Ocrevus.
Oh, if you have a back spasm, believe me, Carly, you will know it.
Oh, yes, I have, and I was taking Flexeril for a while. I think that was when I was on Copaxone, and I'm putting that together for myself right now.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why I'm
yeah.
asking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
I
Sometimes
doubt my
Charlie horse.
neurologist
Sometimes feels like a
said
Charlie
they
horse.
never heard of it, so.
Yeah, I get them in my back, I get them in my legs, especially now where, we're kind of, staying at home all the time right now, and not being able to go like, physical therapy or something like that, or go out. So, you're staying so dormant, myself I'm speaking of, and that's not me. And so, it comes up a lot. And, but, I mean, MS always seems to love to go to your most worn and torn areas of your body. So I, was on my feet always with my job, being a makeup artist. So, and I had MS during that time. So, and all that. Ever since I was diagnosed, I've had a cane. I can't walk without my cane. So now, and then I have a walker. It just depends on what's going on with me, but right now, I can't go out walking or anything like that. I'm in the house more. And, I'm sure that yours comes and goes too. You could have 3 days without it or a whole month without it, and it comes back again. And I mean, Dr. Hyman, of course, didn't say to me, it's stress, what's going on, he wouldn't dare. So it's just something with my system that's going on,
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes I try not to put too much thought into something like that, because then I'm finding myself like being obsessed with it. You know what I mean? You'll think, oh my God, what did I do? Did I do this or to cause this? And
Michael, is there any medication that you take that helps with the spasms?
Just Copaxone.
the vaccine, yeah.
Have you ever
I've
taken
been doing it for 20 some years.
Okay. I just know that baclofen, and I think Carly mentioned Flexeril, that helps with the spasms. Like the baclofen for me helps with my spasticity. I don't know if that would help with your back. I don't know.
What did you call it?
Baclofen, Baclofen. It's like I am not a doctor, but I think it's like a mild muscle relaxer. Thank
Yes.
you.
I take that too.
Yeah, it's in that same
Yeah,
category.
Elizabeth takes it.
Is it
And
Kim typed it for you
prescription?
in the chat box.
yeah, thank you.
So do we need to make baclofen the official drug of this?
I could really use the muscle relaxers, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Or abuse them, I don't know which.
Well, I think it's interesting, when you're talking about like lower back spasm and pain, I don't necessarily feel like I have stuff like that, but I know like in like transferring Jennifer, and I realize they're probably not related, but then all of a sudden I'm just thinking, like when I'm transferring her and stuff, it's just my lower back sometimes takes a hit, but at the same time, that's just probably natural kind of thing, whether I got MS or not. So,
Not like you're young and strong like you used to be. You have some issues.
you realize that, yeah, over time, it just like the body wears on you, and even, yeah, it's just but it's interesting. I mean, because is that something now? Because we're here, but you wonder then how you come to terms with like what's MS, what's the MS problem? How much of our problems are just because we're getting older? Yeah. I just think, when we talk like, the forgetfulness of things, we can blame it on MS, but as I'm getting older, I also have another culprit that could be just getting older or just being too
Yeah.
busy or whatever. So it's just like you think about all the stuff that we do that, or the problems we have, is just like, is it MS or is it something else?
Right.
That's a good question.
And so tonight in the hypothetical corner, Dan Digman asks, what is multiple sclerosis? So, but yeah, so those were just, I find that interesting. Then as you talk about the lower back spasms and stuff, it's just like, is that, wow.
For
I
years,
I can guarantee that.
with sciatic pain all the time. I'd be getting up to go to work, just putting on my clothes, and the pain would go, ah! I'd be like, oh my gosh, I gotta go to work, you know? And I try to get down the street and whatever, and the pain was just excruciating. So, you know, I have a chiropractor that deals with MS. He's dealt with me for 20 years, even prior to my MS. And of course, it wasn't a sciatic at all. It was the pain where my MS likes to land, and also the MS hug. They all like that, where you can't even put your toe down to the floor without having pain with your, you know, that's what causes it. And, you know, unfortunately, the only thing that when it gets that bad, you have to go in and get, you know, the steroid IV. You know, I cannot do steroid pills. They don't do a thing for me. I have to always get the steroid IV. So, you know, anything like that. And, you know, you just, all those years, you know, that I worked, you know, 35 years doing that. So, that I was actually grateful when I found out it wasn't my sciatic, because I'm thinking, what did I do? All, you know, I didn't hurt. I've never broken anything or in my whole life, you know, and so I never understood it. So I was glad when I was diagnosed, and they, you know, that was one of the first things that they looked at. So yeah.
I have a similar story, Nancy, being that we haven't met really, but I actually got, I wouldn't say diagnosed by my chiropractor, but that's how I ended up getting to the point where I got an MRI, because my chiropractor was like, I don't think I can do anything more for you. But I was convinced that I had pinched my sciatic nerve, and I have no idea how either. But
Isn't it wild? Yeah. I had gone to this chiropractor for years. This is before my my chiropractor now. And years ago, like this has got to be like 25 years ago more, he gave me a piece of paper and was all about MS. And I said, what is this? He goes, Nancy, I really think you have MS. I said, because I had gone to so many doctors and they told me it was all in my mind, right? And I actually went through a muscle biopsy because I wouldn't get an MRI. It was my fault. I mean, I think Frank knows his story. I would not get an MRI. I was scared to death. And so if I would have gotten an MRI years ago, I would have known I had MS. So, you know, that was totally my own fault. But it was that chiropractor way back then who said that. And I have another friend, Channing Parker. No, Julie, wait, Julie, oh my God, I can't remember her last name. See?
Here with you.
Oh my gosh, I can't think. And she said years ago, the chiropractor gave her the same piece of paper. She put it in a drawer and never looked at it, you know? And I was like, you're kidding me, you know? So it was actually my doctor for my my migraine, who told me, again, I think you have MS. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about, you know? And he says, well, if you're not going to get an MRI, then I'm sending you. And they did this muscle biopsy on me. You don't find MS in a muscle biopsy, you know? This is so many years ago. And so I just said, and so then on July 4th, when they thought I was having a stroke, I was at work doing makeup, and they thought I was having a stroke. And my doctor, she knew me, and she said, you're not leaving this hospital. And I said, but it's my mother's birthday, July 4th, and we're having this huge party, and I have a wedding to do. And she said, well, I'm sorry, you're going to get, you know, you're getting it down. I got a spinal tap. I was not afraid of a spinal tap, you know. And I got the spinal tap, and these 5 doctors said to me, I think you have MS. And I said, oh, really? And then they said, you're getting the MRI. And actually that morning I called down. It said, Nancy Weiland, this is her doctor, and she will not be getting her an MRI today. And they said, Nancy, we know who you are. You are getting it done today. I got it done, and immediately I was so, you know, it was like, it was awful. So that's how I found out. So I'm not afraid of them anymore, but you know,
Yeah.
one bad experience, you know, but now I have good experiences with them. So, you know,
Is yours relapsing, remitting?
I have secondary progression now. Yeah. You know, as the doctor tells you, everybody has relapsing, remitting, and then, you know, as years go by or whatever, damage is done, you know. Yeah, I've been secondary progressive for a long time, But that's, you know, one of the reasons that when I first got diagnosed, the second day I was in the MS office volunteering because I wanted to help others like they were helping me, you know, and I'm more about helping kids with MS a lot. I have, you know, I know 4 of them that I talk to a lot, you know, like through Instagram and stuff like that. And they're just amazing. And I think that you might have been, Anna Jennifer, there when the young man spoke in Washington, D.C. I remember John was on the elevator with him and said he would have never known. And there's that little kid talking, you know, up there. We're like, it's
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was so upset about that, right? And so then we're waiting for our car to come to go home. And there the kid is out there playing and having a blast. And I said, you know, I'm going to be okay. He's going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. You know? So.
Speaking of being okay, and Elizabeth, I don't want to put you on the spot and you could tell me to shut my mouth, but you had some good news to share. And when you email, and I think, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. What's your secret?
I don't know because I went to my neurologist yesterday and I had an MRI on Friday morning and I was very nervous about getting it and seeing the results because, like I said, I'm going through divorce right now, so a lot of stress. And then there's other stresses going on with the house and stuff like that. And so I didn't know if I'm going to have my doctor yell at me or not. But I went and my mom took notes like she does for every appointment. And there was MRI said no new lesions.
Yay.
The old ones have shrunk.
Yay.
She's very happy with the results.
Good.
There's no new damage.
Yay.
I am on Lemprada, and I have to go back in October for 3 more rounds of it, and that should be my last fusion for Lemprada for who knows when.
Wow.
Okay.
Awesome.
That's
Very exciting.
huge. That's very
Yeah,
huge.
that's huge. Congratulations.
Which drug were you on, or are you on?
Lemprada, the infusion.
And that infusion, how often do you get that, Elizabeth?
I got 5 infusions last October, and this October I get 3.
Okay.
Wow.
So do you have a port? You have a port, Elizabeth?
No,
So are they saying you're on your way to being cured?
that's funny. 'Cause I think there is no cure for MS, but maybe that's a breakthrough.
Yeah.
Because Lemtrada is a new drug.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And is that newer drug, that Lemtrada, is that indicated for just like relapsing remitting MS?
Relapse remitting, yes, that's what I have. I was diagnosed at first with primary progressive, but that was a misdiagnosis.
Okay.
I went to another neurologist and she told me relapsing remitting.
So is that the only treatment you've ever had?
I had oh, I can't remember what it was. It was a little pill form thing, and my husband and my family, they were all scared for me and my coworkers, because I lost my ability to talk clearly.
Yeah.
I was talking like kind of like I was drunk and like a toddler, drunk toddler basically. They could not make sense of my words. I'd make sure that they, whatever. I had to make sure they were paying attention to my mouth so I can like mouth the words.
Yes.
Because like I knew what I was saying,
Yes.
but it was not coming out my mouth correctly.
Wow.
So then the
So I
doctor,
had to go to the hospital's emergency room. What my doctor told me, my first doctor, and so I went there and they put me on high dose of steroids to reverse that.
Yeah.
And then I asked for a second opinion, and she sent me to Dr. Cody in Owasso at what's that place called? I was just there too.
Memorial.
Yep, Memorial Health.
Okay, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was halfway there yesterday with my mom, and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot my book, and I forgot that disc for Dr. Cody of my brain. It's a good thing that the hospital sent it to my doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, that's good. Congratulations again, Elizabeth. That's good.
That's great.
And I got my new mask today.
Oh, you got that.
I'm not drunk. I just have multiple sclerosis.
I love
I
it.
was so excited.
You know, when I worked, people thought I was drunk. I found this out later. My friends, you know, my loving friends, you know, and they said, you know, Nancy, we always thought like, you know, what's Nancy doing? We know her pretty well because of the way I was walking, and I never realized it, you know.
Yeah, me too.
You know, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So yeah, big difference. Yeah. Oh my word.
Where did you find that mask, Elizabeth?
On Facebook.
On Facebook,
Oh,
there's a ton of them.
Yeah. I was taking my chances by ordering something on Facebook, but like I gotta have it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's all kinds of them. Yeah.
And Jen, I showed Amy. She wants one.
Oh, very
I'm
nice.
sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, not that I'm condoning drinking like a ton, but we do.
But I do. But go
And
ahead.
it's the pandemic. And Dan will drink and he'll have a beer. He has multiple sclerosis and he'll stumble. And people will be like, oh, we had to cut him off. I'm like, seriously, he's got way more tolerance than that. It's just stupid multiple sclerosis. And nothing is worse. Because I'm like, my husband, not that he could be like super big drinker, but it's just like, no, just the MS.
So
I have in a month I'm going on a girls' weekend. That's all we do every year. We go up to a cabin, our friend's cabin, and all we do is drink.
well, then I think,
And
okay,
have fun and laugh.
for next time, then we need to turn the group here into like a happy hour and a half and BYOB, and we'll like exchange stories.
Probably the first time that I've had just water.
Good practice.
This wasn't happy hour for everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I was just at the neighbor's house, and she poured me a full glass of Moscato, so I have to drink a bottle of water to kind of.
So good. Oh,
Yeah.
that was
Hi, Lou.
that limoncello is so good. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
That's too sweet. Too sweet for me.
I like scotch or beer, that you know, mostly scotch. Yeah, very much.
I don't like beer.
I joke with Dan that beer is like nature's baclofen. Just a nice that'll like relax me just enough. So
Well, I have a nephew who wrote for a magazine called Hops Culture, And I got to go to all the breweries, everything with him, because he would write about them. And so I would I love dark beer, I love dark beer. And it's funny because when I was younger when I would drink beer, I'd get really like nasty. I mean, the F-bomb would come out of my mouth. I don't know why, So I say to my nephew, "Are you sure you want your aunt? I got this Calvert Nance." And you know what? I don't do it with it. So, we go to it was just so cool going to all those places with him, He's now in Boston now, but it was cool because, I love the dark beers. I do, especially when they taste like coffee or, a s'mores or, whatever, all those wonderful ones.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't like the sour ones. I'm not too good with the sour ones. Yeah.
Oh, I like the sours.
Do you? Oh my gosh, I could tell you a ton of them then. So, and how I got on Scotch is because one of the guys who runs music for MS, we had me and John Platt and my husband and all that. We went to this whiskey and Scotch tasting thing. We had to learn about the differences. I don't know how any of us got home. I really don't. We drank so much. I mean, Ann Majerus came. I mean, we had such a good time. And then they feed you after that, and you're like, and it was a barbecue place, so it was different.
You were doing it just for the research, right, Nancy?
Absolutely, yeah,
Absolutely.
Has
Yeah.
anyone done kind of along the lines? Anyone done the Kentucky Bourbon Trail?
No.
Wow.
Have you?
Yes,
Nope,
we
that sounds like something that would be fun.
Oh yeah, it was really fun. We actually didn't hit all the places, but they give you like a passport book to go around and like test all the different bourbons. That was really good.
Oh, that had to be.
Apparently, I'm like most women and I prefer rye.
Really? Huh.
Nice.
So there's a woman in Pittsburgh that owns a winery, and they're from Argentina. And on MS World Day, she decided, because of everything being shut down, she doesn't know a single soul with MS. She said, I read this MS World Day. So she actually called the Infusion Center in Pittsburgh, and they told her, and so they put it up, and so I got to meet her and get wine. So now I buy the wine, for friends and stuff. I mean, she's such a nice person, but she knew nothing about MS. It was just MS World Day, and so 10% went to MS, which I thought was
Nice.
yeah, and she's the neatest lady. I mean, they're closed down again, obviously, but she'll bring it to your house. I mean, they're just unreal. So, yeah,
Very cool.
it's cool. Did you go for your walk? Oh, my dog, our dog, the big old baby. Yes.
So what's up with you, Cam? I haven't. Yeah, you're quiet.
Yeah, she's quiet.
Oh, well, we're having a thunderstorm roll in right now, so
Oh,
I keep like, do I hear sirens? Do I not hear sirens? My mom texted me
understood.
like, hey, we're out of power. We have a tornado warning up here, which is like 3 miles away or so. So sometimes my audio will get throttled because of the storm. So I'm waiting where I walk down in the basement or send you a message like, hey, got disconnected.
Yeah.
So if your lights go out, we know what happened.
Yeah, but so far it's not
Or
too
the house disappears behind you.
yeah.
And if you wind up in Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
But we're getting quite the electrical storm right now, which I love electrical storms.
Ours was last night.
Yeah, we didn't get too many, huh? No.
Oh,
You know-
we'll get it tomorrow, Carly and Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
This way, and then
Something happened. It was really humid today.
yeah. Those are the days that I don't care for with my MS. When it's hot and humid.
Humidity, horrible. Yeah.
Even when I was inside the last 2 days and like just the neuropathy in my hands is like obnoxious and I just do this all day.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not getting the lightning right now. Oh, you got it?
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's the calm before the storm, like it's, where everyone goes outside going, "Where's the tornado?" Because that's what the Iowegians do. We go outside when it gets this way.
That-
Can you hear that?
That's the Kansas thing. Come on.
Can you hear that thunder?
We do in Michigan too.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's what we're working on here.
Well, and you're just hoping you got the camera going so that the news will take your video to say, look at
My
her.
footage would be terrible, terrible.
Carly, what part of Michigan do you live in?
Who are you asking?
I live in,
Are you in
I live in
Michigan?
Gratiot County, so right in the middle.
Are you in
Yeah.
Michigan?
Bleh. What city are you near, Elizabeth?
I'm in Ithaca.
Oh, okay. I'm in Grosse Pointe, so I'm like 15, 20 minutes outside of Detroit.
Okay, yeah. My niece went to Western Michigan,
We're just
lived in Kalamazoo,
Yeah.
and now she lives in, what's it called? Apple Valley, Minnesota. She works for Post Cereal. So, in Kalamazoo, it was, Post Cereal, yeah.
Yeah.
She's an industrial engineer at Post Cereal. Yeah.
Okay.
wow.
Where is Kellogg?
That's
That's
in
in Battle
that's in
Creek.
Battle Creek.
Okay. I remember like the hot air balloons go off there.
Yeah.
Where do you live, Frank?
Plainville, Kansas.
And
Okay.
And it's the
Sounds
name,
exciting.
the name suits it very well.
Great.
I mean, in the middle of the plains. It's so flat.
I'm also from Michigan. Grew up down the river from Detroit. I've been in Arizona for 20 years now. This is a big contingent from Michigan.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Uh,
The Midwest we're representing.
Is there any, I understand there's a connection to the MS and people like northern climes, but I didn't know it was so strong in a local manner.
yeah. There's a lot of people in Pittsburgh with the MS too. It's very big here. Yeah. They're always doing some sort of study about that. So, do any of you get involved with the MS Society? I know you two do, Dan and Jennifer. Absolutely.
Frank does.
That's how we met Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
I do like the MS bike. I did the MS 150 last year in Minnesota on my electric bike.
Right.
For you. Yeah.
That's good.
I was going to say, because Kim, you sort of throw off my argument and stuff when I'm in Michigan, because I'm from Iowa originally, and I always say that I was healthy until I moved to Michigan, because people in Iowa don't get the MS, but apparently we do. So
Yeah, we do. So my symptoms started when I was in Alaska. When I was at school in Alaska for a year. That's when my symptoms started.
So you can blame it on Alaska.
I know. I just totally always blame it. Like, well, there wasn't really a lot of sun in Fairbanks, so.
Oh,
Yeah, Dan always says he
Oh,
would.
did you hear that one?
I
Yeah.
heard
That
that one.
was close, guys.
Wow,
I
did
don't
you
know
jump?
that I heard it, but I saw you jump.
Yeah, because my dog jumped. She's in my lap because she's scared.
Aw.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
that.
Well,
That strike was close.
Wow, that was, gee, me. It looked
what
like,
else? What else are you guys concerned about with multiple sclerosis? You came online tonight to talk beer, lightning, and
um, I had,
everybody.
How is everybody doing with the whole COVID shutdown?
ah,
We were, you feel like you're out of the woods, and it's just that we, they opened it up so we could go places in Michigan. I think our church is actually, we're going to try doing like in-person service this week. Everybody's separated, mask and blah blah blah. But I don't know. I'm saving a lot of money because we're not going out to eat.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I think they're gonna shut us down again pretty soon.
I think so too.
Yeah.
They've
I just
shut
seen on the news that anyone who has a bridge card is gonna get another little bit from the bridge card funds like that for the people who have them.
Mhm.
July 30th, I think.
Wow.
So
What,
that's all I know.
In Pittsburgh here, we were so good, and then it just, all of a sudden, like within a week, but we've been having a lot of protests, and people were not wearing masks, they're young people. So, that was really bad. You knew it's right actually where I live is where a lot of the protests were happening. We had another one yesterday. Thank goodness it was peaceful, but it wasn't even about this. It was about something else, but they had masks on. But my husband and I, because he's diabetic and me with the MS, I mean, we have just changed our lives upside down. I mean, we were people that, we went shopping and did our own groceries, and, we don't do that, and oddly enough, my oldest brother, who's 73, has AFib, and he just had surgery right before this all happened. And so I finally got to see him a week ago. He came over without a mask on around us, because but no, he's had to be so, and I just don't think people were I know here in Pittsburgh, people are putting things up on Facebook. Oh, we're having a party. We're doing this. And just because you're with your family, you should really think about your family more than anything. But I have my best friend, and she has MS, and her husband just went through prostate cancer through radiation. And we got to see them once. And then, when they're always with the mask, and they came to see us because she wanted to see her godson, our dog. She adopted him for us. And she had the mask on, made us put the mask on, and we're huggy people, and so it's really hard. It really is. My whole family, I mean, my niece and nephew, nobody allows me to go anywhere. I got to, it's hard, it is hard, but I'm willing to do it if it's going to save somebody, I really am. It's just so important. When you have somebody close to you that was around somebody, but luckily they got tested, and then that person, was okay, you still worry, and that person worries about it too, because this person didn't even tell anybody they got tested, and so that was scary. But I have to go get an MRI, and I'm like wondering, I'm going to a place that I trust, and I'm wondering, am I going to have to wear the mask inside the MRI? I don't know if I could do that,
I did.
Right.
I wore it inside the tube.
They made you wear it.
The mask inside the tube, Elizabeth.
You're
Yeah.
inside.
Really? You just had that done too.
Yep,
Wow.
on Friday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, interesting thing is that because of I had gone through chemo for 6 years for my MS, it really messed with my teeth. So I have to wear a partial and everything, and I got one that doesn't have any metal in it. It's like really cool. And I had it, and I couldn't get it because my dentist couldn't be open. And he went to grade school with my son. This is how my husband. And that's how well we know him. And so finally, and that is the cleanest place. I would have not even worried about going there, And so finally I got it. But, you think about that, and the girl that was, she cleans my teeth and that. And, she was a little nervous, because her fiance was making her nervous about it, being around people. Meanwhile, it's the cleanest place, it does everything you're supposed to do. So, those little things. And my husband, he gets shots in his eye for his diabetes, and I'm not allowed to go in with him ever since it started. And yeah. So, and you want to go with them because you want to hear about it, and so forth. But when I went in to get my infusion not too long ago, I felt very safe. And, you're being tested, you wear the mask, the whole thing. And I had gotten a treatment right before this whole thing started too. So, I'm not about to go out to dinner or I'm not ready for any of that. No.
Now, Michael, what's it like in Arizona?
Oh, it had been pretty nice. We live in a small town. I probably mentioned before that there were no cases in our zip code. Well, that was a month ago. Now that's changed. And the county I live in is the worst county in Arizona, near the Mexican border. And my wife and I never go south of our house. We only go up to Tucson, even though it's out of our way and so on. We don't go to the southern part of the county. It's really, really bad there. And Tucson are both hard hit. And we don't go to restaurants. We just hang out. We have a couple close friends. We I catch up with every Thursday. This is my night to drink. And otherwise, my gym is closed. I can't work on my strengthening my back. Every day it's 110 degrees outside.
Oh, wow.
But the monsoon is here. We have thunderstorms every night. And Kim, you would like to see our lightning every night. Whether it's wet or not, we have lightning. That'll last for a couple more weeks.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, Frank, is it closed down in Kansas like it is for Michael in Arizona?
It opened back up. And since it opened back up, the county that's just west of us had no cases at all. And they had a dance at a country western bar, and 13 people got infected.
Wow.
And then the community north of us, little city of 500, they do have a senior assisted living facility. 5 people came down positive with it there last week. So yeah, it's all around us and it's coming back. You know, it's time to do the masks again.
Yeah. And Kim in Iowa, are you like the last time Dan talked with
They
me?
don't lock y'all down. My parents are in shambles back there in the Hawkeye State.
No, so Governor Reynolds and Trump, they're tight, my state in Iowa. So we opened everything back up. They just passed an ordinance now. Where I live in Des Moines, the mayor's different. So the city council in Des Moines just passed a thing where you have to, if you're in a city building, you have to be covered with a mask. And I think there was another city, like Muscatine or something, that passed like you have to wear, but no, nothing's required unless a business like Costco says, "Hey, put on a mask or you can't come in." No, we're open and we're going up and again in cases. And what else was they say? We were one of the, like, it was like a week or two ago, we were one of the states, there's just 3 states, I think it was like New York, Connecticut, 3 Eastern Coast states that, like, if you were like in Iowa or other states, if you came to that state, you're supposed to quarantine for 14 days. My state was on the list.
That was ours.
Wow.
We've
Yeah.
been banned in New York. I don't know if that's bad or not, but
Well, I wonder, like Kim, Carly, with your infusions, I don't know. Because Nancy, you had said you just recently did an infusion.
Yes.
But like, I know Kim and Carly, you're both on the Ocrevus. Is this COVID affecting your infusions?
No, I'm
Well-
still doing mine next month on the 14th. Unless something really crazy changes, I feel very comfortable going in.
Okay.
Yeah, I had my last one on April 2nd, and
Okay.
then the next one, like October sometime. It's the clinical trial, so they were like, unless something really terrible happens, we're moving forward.
Okay.
my best friend is on what you're on. She was on Rituxan with me, and she rides a scooter, my friend Terry, and so now she's on what you're on, um, which I because you don't. She doesn't like needles, so she doesn't do well with the infusion, And so I know she has one coming up in September, so I will go and support her. And we've always done our infusions together. If you ever see us on Facebook, we do our infusions together. But we actually have an MS infusion center, so we know, and the cancer infusion is right on the other side of our room. So you feel very safe, and they've worked it out that not a lot of people can come in. There's only so many, and when you go for your appointment, there's not people waiting in the waiting room anymore. I mean, everybody, they schedule everything very well. But no, I felt very confident. I did.
Yeah, they did.
Because
They did.
I mean, they care a lot about us. Yeah.
At DMC is where I go in Detroit, and we don't. I mean, it's a clinic, but it's not like I've seen other people where you have like sit down chairs. Like I have a hospital bed journey. That's what I've got in a small room with no windows. I had a room, and then the PA that was with me was across the hall, and we had masks for when she was in the room, and we just washed our hands a lot. I felt really comfortable with her there. The hospital was really great. Like when I came in, I had trouble parking my car because usually they valet my car. And so when I went to go leave, so no, I parked my car myself, but when I went to go back to my car the way I came, I couldn't do that. So that was the only thing, but hardly anyone there. The neurology floor in general, like pretty much shut down, and they called to reschedule my appointment so that there were supposed to be 2 appointments on April the 3rd, and they called me in a day early, so there was only 1 patient there each day and then 1 staff person there.
Okay. What's funny, the last time my husband, we always valet, but he goes, no, I'm going to drop you off. I'm going to go park the car because I don't want someone coming in our car, valet in it. That's the first time.
Well,
I mean,
my husband, he works a retail job, but he works for Meyer, and I have to drive myself to and from my own appointments. So that is what it is. Yeah, I had brought the like Lysol wipes for in the car just in case if somebody was going to be in my car. But I got there and I was like, no, I'll park my own car. And they didn't even have anyone at valet anyway. There's no one even working.
Yeah. I think, it's all about the washing the hands. I mean, that is just so huge, I mean, I watch at 1 o'clock here on, what is it, CBS, she has the blonde hair. I love her. She talks about every day about the virus, and she gives you the best ideas and the newest is what's going on and so forth, because you can get yourself so stirred up inside, and you just don't know what to think. So I just love listening to her. So that's what I do every day at 1 o'clock when I can. I make sure I watch her. Because she always gives you some new information,
Yeah, and if that keeps you sane, that's so important right now. Like this group just getting together and having somebody to talk to about what's going on. We haven't met in person, our support group, since February. So if we didn't,
yeah.
It's a good thing just to stay in touch this way.
Yeah, because we don't have our groups. We didn't have our MS walk, like the big walks, or I don't know. I don't think they do like virtual bike MS and whatnot. So it's just different.
You guys did the virtual walk, didn't you? I thought I remember seeing photos.
Yeah,
we did. But we're just walking around the neighborhood, and I see her every day. So and you're special.
I commend you guys for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You guys
it's,
use other virtual platforms too?
Well, we were going to have Women on the Move at the Rivers Casino because we have so many people. Of course, we canceled it because how can you ask people? It just wasn't happening. I mean, and the casino's been closed again. There's always something going on. Just to have that, it's not worth it. And my husband, they're not having Music for a Mess. You can watch it when it happens. They're actually going to have a concert at someone's house, one of the bands that we're going to play, and that's what they're going to do. And I think that's kind of cool. I think that with Women on the Move, because this is the first time in 20 years it was canceled. We've never canceled. And so I think, we're going to send out like a raffle ticket or something with Amazon, something people can use, because people still want to give. So, but that was a really hard decision. There was just no way, because there's more than 50% of the people that come to that have MS. So how could you ask them,
Yeah.
it's just not happening.
well, I mean,
It took
that's,
them,
yeah. Because like because the casino here is closed, and that was, Jennifer, bless her heart, for my birthday. I mean, she got me tickets like in August for my birthday to see the Doobie Brothers, but that's not happening now because because they've canceled all the concerts out there, and so you're just and we had tickets to the minor league baseball, no major league. I want to put a TV out on our deck so I can watch sports out there and everything, but I'm like, save my money because it's not happening this fall.
That's
Now,
what.
baseball's coming back.
yeah, baseball, yeah, Pittsburgh.
Baseball.
Jim, are
I
they
was
doing
supposed to go to opening day. I'm still really bitter about that. Like,
When's it happening?
Well, first of all,
the 24th, I believe, is
24th.
24th.
I don't think,
And I
I don't
think
think it'll
the
happen.
Penguins are going to be playing. I know they're practicing now.
Fingers crossed, Frank.
I don't think
You
so.
don't you don't think so, Frank?
No, I don't. The first time a team gets 3 or 4 or 5 people to come down positive, they'll shut the whole thing down
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And it will only take about 2 weeks before that happens.
And
Yeah.
I'm with you because and I think CMU here, a university in town, I mean, they're going to at this point have on campus, classes and everything, but all it's going to take is a couple students to get COVID in the residence halls, and it's like send them home. Just,
That's what I'm really curious about is like what the schools plan on doing. Like I don't have kids, but my sister and my in-laws do, and just wondering where they feel comfortable doing with their kids and how that all works and one things because like I don't know, like with the school thing, like we're trying to get sports up and running and they seem to still have problems and they have all this money and all these testing and we don't have that for schools. And I'm
No.
just like, I don't know how they expect to do it. So it'll be interesting to see what they decide on.
My
I've got
husband,
I've got it all figured out.
wrote something today on his website. I'm on Facebook about me. When I was younger, I was in an Easter Bunny costume, and I was around kids. I'm the one that they sat on, with the Easter Bunny, and I got mono. So I got mono from all of these kids. And so that was probably, as Dr. Hyman said, the start of my MS way back then, was my mono. So I think about that, he's thinking, just think about kids, I mean, I feel bad for them,
Yeah, Elizabeth, how is that affecting you? Because you have like school age your daughter. How old is she?
With the school, Jordan wanted to do K through 12, so I signed her up for that.
Okay.
yeah.
So she's gonna do the K through 12 stuff online
Okay.
okay.
There you go. Yeah.
because she doesn't want to wear a mask all day. And the K through 12, I was told by the instructors, it's like five to seven kids in a class. So it's more one-on-one type stuff versus
Okay.
like probably 20 in a classroom.
Yeah. Wow.
So this, I mean, because it's the public school for the same year. They're gonna do the first 6 weeks. They're gonna be redoing the last 6 weeks they missed of last year, and then transitioning after that into the 8th grade. So it's very confusing of what they're trying to do. So she just wants to go to the K through 12 and go that way. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, and probably easier on you as well. Gives you
Oh yeah.
some stability. I think that's the one thing that's missing. I don't know about anyone else, but stability, you know, like my physical therapy, just normal stuff. It's just everything, like days are just running into each other because I don't have that routine.
Well, I know my friend goes to physical therapy and they've worked it out. Like she's the only one in there. She comes in a different side door, but she has to wait till they clean it all from the other. And, you know, it's a lot more. I mean, it's worth it for her, you know. And I know they said they wanted me to start physical therapy, which is where the athletes are, the Steelers and that, they, you know, practice and stuff. I've decided that I found something online. It's MS Society, but the guy is from Australia and he teaches, he's fantastic. I mean, and they have people there with MS. There's only 2 with him at a time. And everybody that he's had are different, you know, and I think it's great. And so that's what I'm going to do, you know, just to get myself moving a little more. You know, my husband walks every day, like a lot with our dog. And my dog has become social distancing from people. I mean, he's a big, you know, pit boxer and he loves people. And he's changed overnight, you know, because my husband can't have him jumping on people. And I mean, it's, you know, the poor dog, you know.
Yeah.
And he's just only 4.
I feel you, Jennifer, though, like I use Marco Polo a lot. I don't know if I've talked with you guys about it before. So it's kind of like Snapchat where you send people videos, but it's not the same connotation. So like I have a lot of conversation with my friends and you Marco a video and then they Polo it back and you can just kind of like go back and forth. And it's been a lot of fun. But I have a toxic workplace group that I kind of like have as a class. I get paid for it, but I don't know. We just all complain about the same things, and it's nice. But we talked about this like early on when we were in quarantine. It's like all of the days just feel exactly the same. And now I'm on COVID FMLA, literally every day feels the same. And so I had to like build a kind of structure. I'm using my planner again. Like who thought they were going to be using a planner right now?
Yeah.
But I literally have to write down like what I'm doing. I did get back to running, so I'm running Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm doing a video. So like I need to but it was like I have to structure my day so like I have an alarm set still so I get up in the morning because otherwise I was just like getting super depressed and like what's the point of any of this? I hate everything and everyone and I don't want to see anyone and I was like, okay, I gotta fix this.
Yeah.
Oh.
And tomorrow I'm seeing my urologist, but she doesn't feel comfortable meeting face to face. So I have a virtual urology appointment tomorrow. So our next meeting, I look forward to telling you how that goes because.
I've had 2 so far.
And how have they been?
You know what? I love it. Dr. Hyman, when he sees you, he's done this since day one. I told him I have a book because every time he sees you, he writes down what we did and what we should, you know, next time, right? And then he copies that piece of paper and gives it to you. I have every one of those papers he's given me in 20 years. And when we did this, the first call, he actually sent it to me. And I was like, oh my God, because I'm always teasing them, I'm gonna publish this one day about you, and it's great because when you get there, it's when I heard you say that you have your mom write things down, Elizabeth. I mean, that's the thing with Dr. Hyman. He writes it down for you, so you go home and you can look at it, and you don't have to say, wait a minute, this doesn't work. What do you say I'm going to do next? It's there. Yeah. So if your
Jennifer,
doctor's not doing that, ask them to do that.
Yeah.
Jennifer, were you still considering doing the Botox? Was that part of your consult for tomorrow?
That's going to be what we're probably going to talk about. Yes.
My
Okay.
friend does the Botox. Yeah.
There was an episode of Myelin and Melanin that talks specifically about that. Did you listen?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, I just listened to it. I'll see if I can find it again and send it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
My appointment with Dr. Witzke is at 11 tomorrow. And
Okay. I'll try and find it tonight before I go to bed.
Thank you. I don't know about any of you, but catheterization has always scared me. I've been living with the disease over 20 years and not to be too personal, I just don't really, that kind of makes me a little nervous. So
The next time I'm going to have my friend on this call because she just got the Botox and she does it for her bladder and she does the catheter. And I want to tell you, to me, she is the most incredible person that she doesn't complain. I mean, it's just amazing. And she could answer any question for you. And the doctor actually talked to me about Botox, but I have to get a test done first to see if I have a kidney stones or anything like that first. But she's incredible, and she would talk to you about it any day.
well, thank you. And
Just
I'll watch that.
Yeah, she will ease your mind to it. She could answer it. She's been through everything. She's like my hero. She really is.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I've told Dan that just take an hour break from work tomorrow. We got some talking to do with the urologist. So we'll see.
Yeah. And this is an MS urologist, right?
No, she's just a urologist. Elizabeth, the clinic you go to, do they have specific MS urologists down there?
I know I've seen commercials about a urologist over there. It's Dr. Paschke or something like that. It starts with a P. I know that. I've
Okay.
seen commercials he's been doing.
I like her, and she's very good, and Dan and I, our neurologist is at an MS clinic, but I don't know if it's specifically to get an MS urologist or just to continue seeing my urologist. So we'll see. I'll let you know in 2 weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And make sure they write this stuff down for you and send it to you, I mean,
Yeah.
they should do that. Absolutely. I did have one question for everybody. Does anybody do any sort of medical marijuana for their MS?
No?
I find it helpful myself. I get more anxious and I don't enjoy smoking and I don't like edibles. I'm very sensitive.
Oils in?
Sorry?
Do you do oils in?
Mm-mm.
You don't do anything?
No.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. I was on Percocet 4 times a day since day one with my MS because I had such pain, a constant 24-hour pain. And that was for 20 years. And so, then I take Cymbalta for my neuropathy. So I decided, oh, he's on mute again. So it was
Michael,
He's on.
All right, if you're speaking with us, we can't hear you.
There you go.
Sorry?
We can hear you now. We
Sure,
can
you
hear
were trying to speak to us. You were muted.
Yeah, I went offline to,
Gotcha. Okay, I'm sorry.
I said, that
So I've
wasn't,
always gone to
appropriate.
a pain clinic, you know, and I've been doing that for years and years and years. And it really got to the point that it wasn't working, and I was not going to go on another drug that was going to make me drowsy. Percocet never bothered me, is what was happening. And I'm 65, so you can imagine I did that for 20 years. So I actually talked, this was last March, to them, and we found a doctor that actually believes in the medical marijuana for MS patients. And I don't smoke, I never have, and I know I won't because I can't even stand the smell. So it was my niece and nephew. My nephew was in the Navy, and so he had anxiety, and he said, "Aunt, you got to get off this Percocet, you know." So I had to go. It took me from March. It took a long time, and I got taken off it. I had to wean myself off, but we have a place called Maytree here, and it's a place where you go get your marijuana, and they have pharmacists there. And my pharmacist got me through everything, the withdrawals, everything. And I was going with my treatments with this and everything. And so I have not done a Percocet since last March. I don't do them.
Wow.
That was, I had to go off them in order to get a marijuana card, you know? You can't be on anything. And you know, and you're constantly being tested. So I said, fine, I'm not hiding anything, you know? So it's the best thing I ever did. So I do oil to sleep with, but when I have very, very, very bad pain, I do something called RSO, which is almost like a tar, and I can't take the smell or taste, so I put it in peanut butter cup or graham cracker something. And it's like you do a size of a piece of rice. I don't even do that much because it's too much. And that takes my pain away. But it was invented by somebody who had cancer, and this was what they do. So, I mean, it has been the best thing I ever did. And I never thought in years I would say that, you know, but I don't, I do have to do my Cymbalta. I can never go off that, they said, you know. So,
Nancy, did you have any withdrawal getting off the Percocet? Did they
yeah,
slowly taper you down, or what they do?
it was terrible. It was terrible.
I assumed it
Because,
would be awful.
I'm doing 4 pills a day of Percocet, and they were the highest dose. And at one point there was ibuprofen in it too. So I knew what was doing to my stomach, you know, and then I had to go up. So I knew that it was time, but really it was my niece and nephew were 30 and 28 that said, and my husband said, look, let's try this, you know. And my
Now, is that
doctor, she was incredible. She said, let's do this, you know.
now
But
is Percocet for pain, Nancy?
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
a combination of oxycodone and Tylenol.
Okay.
nobody, that, it's bad. But it
So
was, so when you're talking about the pills that you do, I used to do those too for the spasms and things, but I couldn't think, I would just feel weird, I couldn't do it in work. I couldn't do it in work. That was the problem. So, and I'm doing someone's face, so I don't want to poke them in the eye, and, I never did all those years. So it was a really good decision, but it was very hard. It was so hard. I tried to go off it myself, taper it, and then I went back to my pharmacist, and she said, "What are you trying to do, Nance? I mean, listen, don't do it this way. You cannot do it." So you had to like wean off the Percocet. You can't just say, "I'm not going to do it anymore." It was so hard. Let me tell you, it was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. It really was.
How long do you think from when you started to wean off the Percocet that when you finally renormalized and you got through that awful withdrawal stage? How long did that take you, you think?
I would say about 3 months.
Okay.
I actually had so many months to get off it before he would even give me a card. You wouldn't give me a card. I mean, you can't just get a card, you know.
That's kind of ruthless, making you wean off, but then give you nothing in replacement.
That's your choice.
That's
Isn't that wrong?
harsh.
Because I was still on the Percocet, you know, so I had to be weaned off, and it's like, and then they changed the rules, you know. It's all, well, at the beginning, here was, they said you can either be on Percocet or the marijuana, Nancy. I said, no, wait a minute. If I quit doing my Percocet and go on marijuana and it doesn't work, you're telling me I can never go on to Percocet again? They said, that's right. I go, are you insane? I mean, you know, I don't know what's going to happen, you know. And so it was one of the roughest things I ever did, but my husband was there for me the whole time. He really was. I mean, I couldn't have done it without him, you know.
How long ago did you do this, Nancy?
Last March, I quit.
Okay, so
Yeah.
about a year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago, yeah. And the really funny part about it, though, I have lots of other friends that are on it now that have MS. They're my age, went to the same doctor. Because I have one friend that has neuropathy, but he was on so much pain medicine, it wasn't doing him any good anymore. And he's feeling better, you know. But I don't smoke. I don't do any of that. I just, you know, no way. So,
I have a chronic cough with the Ocrevus, so I mean that's part of it, you know.
you do
That
what?
that's real to me.
Oh yeah. But you
I'm
know,
not opposed to it. I haven't. I don't feel like I'm in an excruciating amount of pain. Like when I went in and got my original diagnosis, like I couldn't have a sheet on me. It hurt so bad. So
oh
I've
yeah.
been significantly better with Ocrevus at this point. So day to day, like I think the worst you were saying earlier, like your feet, I've got plantar fasciitis. So that probably is the most painful thing, but I don't attribute that to my MS usually.
Do
Yeah,
you
you know,
have it, Carly? Is your plantar fasciitis in both your feet or just one foot?
wow. And you run.
I have insoles in my shoes.
Where in your feet does it hurt, Carly?
In the arch, but I'm noticing more and more it's around, like on my heel,
Okay.
like the tendons around. So my sister-in-law used to dance. She was showing me some different stretches to do with my feet, to stretch out the tendon.
Okay. Because that I've been to two podiatrists, and they both had said plantar fasciitis, like, and my feet are just killing me. And I was like, I walk, gingerly and like with a stumble, and it's not the MS, just my feet hurt like hell. And so I went to my podiatrist again. I'm just like, this isn't working. And so then she's like, oh, it's some sort of tendonitis or tinnitus or something like that. And yeah, but it is. It's just something that, so I'm asking just because, yeah, it's just like, yeah, my feet hurt like hell. And I'm just like,
Do you wear an insole? Like I have a running insole. I have like a regular walking insole. I wear my Birkenstocks pretty much all the time because that's the only thing that is comfortable.
because I've got, I have an orthotic that orthotics that I wear in my shoes.
Yeah.
And I've tried, recently I have another pair of shoes that I wear out in the yard to do yard work and stuff. And I can tell that I don't have my orthotics in those shoes because my feet hurt even worse. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you have like the full foot one or do you have like a 3/4 one?
It's I think it's the full foot. Well, I think maybe it's just the 3/4. It's just like for the arches.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember this is one of the symptoms that I think I've had for a really long time. My mom does have plantar fasciitis, but this is the first thing that I remember going to the doctor with. I used to get really bad feet cramps. Like I was a swimmer in high school, and I remember there was one time, I think it was my senior year, and I was swimming the length of the pool, and my foot cramped up so bad and I was crying and I could not go any further. And my coach at the time, there was always these, like, she did an Olympic trial while 8 months pregnant. She was ridiculously insane. So she was like, keep swimming. I was like, I can't. But like my foot contorted. It was really bad.
Yeah.
But I think it had something to do with this plantar fasciitis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
I was at my appointment yesterday. They had me do the walk test thing, whatever, to see like how I walked and everything. And this time they had a guy there they're trying to get this new cool thing in the office and trying to get into like all the offices that do the MS stuff. So he's on a computer and he has this long walkway. I think it's like 25 feet, I think. And I had to walk on it and it tracked my footsteps
Oh,
the whole way. I
wow.
had to walk back and forth, I think, twice. That was really cool. I didn't get to see the results, but my doctor did.
Huh.
That
Wow.
sounds cool.
So I'm really curious to see what comes of it. Because I know when I was walking, like my right heel always skidded towards the floor.
Uh,
When will you see your doctor again, Elizabeth?
I don't know that for sure. I know it's gonna be after October, so after my next infusion.
Okay.
Wow.
I will keep you updated though.
Please.
All right. Thanks. Yeah.
So this is the point of the conversation where we say, is there anything else anybody wants to talk about or any other questions? And looking
I
forward
would like
to
to
the next.
congratulate Nancy and Elizabeth. I think your report today was encouraging for all of us. You know, getting off Percocet, that's unbelievable.
Thank
And
you.
the success Elizabeth has had with her MRIs and that's hope for all of us. Hearing about it.
That's
Yeah,
very.
you gotta learn to, like, when it's really bothering you, just really yell at something out, something. I mean, don't keep it inside, I think. And I think that's incredible about Elizabeth, with her MRI, and that's just fantastic. Because, sometimes when you're taking these MS drugs, you feel like, if they're supposed to be working, why am I feeling like this? I don't want to do my treatments anymore. And like Frank doesn't do anything, and that is his personal, that is he has that personal right, and I never put people down, because I know some people say, oh, how can they not take anything? They know their body, and if that is what is good for him, that's what's good for him. I have another friend that doesn't do anything, and he's about vitamins. So, but that's what makes him happy. That is what works for him. And that's what, whatever you feel, and as long as you're talking to your doctor about it, that's what's important.
Yeah.
You got to trust the doctor.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
I know this is not a quiet group here.
We're all just tired.
I mean, it is 10 o'clock. So,
No.
Look who's back again.
yeah. Okay. We have a special guest with Elizabeth. We want to say hi to you, Jordan.
Hey
Well,
guys,
and again, not to put y'all on the spot, can I share your picture, Jordan? You remember when you drew the picture at group that time? Yeah. Okay. I don't know if y'all can see here. I'll scan it at the top. Where are we at here?
Yeah.
oh yeah, oh wow. No,
Oh, how nice.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So we have
So-
that with our group.
Yeah. So this is in our office, and I'm going to get this framed. It's okay. Just wait. Then you know how awesome this is, Jordan. Look at this. This is on This was on our other desk in this room because I'm getting this sucker framed too, right there.
Oh, George, you're gonna be
You're
great.
going to be right there with Mr. Springsteen. So congratulations.
Special.
Yeah, thanks for joining us tonight, Jordan.
Yeah, everybody, this is my daughter Jordan.
Hi,
Hi.
Jordan.
Hi, Jordan.
So then our next group is when?
2 weeks from today.
The date would be the 28th, is it? Okay, mark your calendars. Nancy, have your friend join us. Come back. And
John Platt, Frank, I'm telling John right now, he's got to be my friend Terry, absolutely.
That would be great.
Oh, no, yeah. I don't really do these. I used to back in the day, but I have one support group and we meet at the, it's at the Google building. A bunch of us meet there and it's a very unusual, we're all very different. And we actually have a neurosurgeon who has MS. And I want to tell you, if he hears something, he knows what, to explain it to us. And, but no one's allowed to complain. That's the thing. Like, more than somebody else, but,
Equal
so
opportunity
I
complaining.
like that, But, I really never told my, story. And then Dan and Jennifer, weren't you on John's podcast? John, yeah.
yeah.
He walk us into, well, that's my husband, Jim, Music for a Mess, that was on there, and then me. And
I didn't know your husband did that. I know the Music for MS. I did not know this. So
yes, he's always, I kind of volunteered him to do the website when they came to, I'm on the board of trustees, and when this two brothers came to us, because one sister has MS, and they said, well, we need somebody to do the website. And I go, oh, wait a minute, I got the look, from Ann and all that, I'm sure you know Ann Majerus, our chapter president.
yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And she kind of gave me that look like Nance. I mean, oh, I said, oh yeah. I came home and told my husband. He was like, what? And now, he loves it. He loves it.
Yeah.
He's a webby guy, so he likes this stuff. But yeah, they were very disappointed they couldn't do Music for a Mess this year. But Lydia Emily was to be my guest this year at Women on the Move, and I've met some really incredible people. I mean, David Osmond has been with us twice. Terry Garr, just really good people. And so I'm always listening. I love to listen to other people's stories. I really do.
Absolutely.
That means a lot. And I remember you two, my husband and I said, we remember you two so distinctly. When Jennifer got up there and said that story, you had just got your new chair.
And my chair is 8 years old.
See how long ago that was?
Yeah.
And I remember, I hope you know how me to say this. I remember after you were done, I did not know that he was your husband. And he was standing like near our table, and he wanted to sit down, and somebody was like, oh, these seats are taken. And then you got a seat, and I went up to those people and I said, how rude could you possibly be? You just sat here and listened to her speak. What's wrong with you? Seriously. That's a long time ago,
Yes.
8 years.
So I'll just say a couple of things. Is that I agree with Nancy.
Hardly. Sorry.
Once you meet this pair, you can't forget them. That is absolutely true. I will vouch for that.
Well, thank you.
I want to tell you, they are doing a terrific job. We're working together to plan a really exciting presentation on September 30th. And again, mark it down in your calendar.
Yes.
It's going to be a webinar presentation. I hope that we'll have 300 or 400 people. We're going to do a good job to get the word out, and we're going to look at how MS is discussed in families. How parents talk to kids, how kids talk to parents, how siblings talk to each other when one of them has MS. It's a subject that doesn't get talked about. And we are going to try and address it. And we've got a couple of medical professionals that are going to come on. We're also going to be talking a little bit about possibly the issues around getting pregnant when you have MS. And Dan and Jennifer, I just have to tell you a great story. So a friend of mine, good friend of mine for many years, just lost his sister. And I attended a sort of memorial, and he got up and afterwards and spoke about his sister, and he mentioned she had MS, which I do know now. I remember him telling me many years ago. And he said that soon after she got married, very soon after she got married, she was diagnosed with MS, or maybe right before, but she was with her husband. And the doctor told her she couldn't get pregnant. Well, she went on to have 5 kids.
Fantastic.
So she got pregnant, and the doctor said, you know, this isn't a very good idea with MS. And she went on to have 5 kids. So I told Don that that we would dedicate that night to her.
Yeah.
You know, when you talk about kids, my husband and I and my friend Terry, who I get, and I will also get Dick Woodruff. My husband and I have always done kids camp with the MS Society, where we spend 3 days and nights with these kids at a camp. I'm the only one who had MS at the time, and the kids never knew I had MS. And then after that, they asked us to come back, and I brought 2 friends with MS. And what happens is the kids are in a big room, and we're sitting up there with an MS doctor, and they're allowed to ask us anything, and I mean anything.
Yeah.
And they do ask you anything. And you knew my friend and I, we just say it the way it is, you know, and we did it for years. Of course, they don't have MS. They no longer have them. But it was the most incredible experience. And these kids, I mean, they got, you know, we were with them all that time, and we did things with them, and they'd ask us questions. And they're kids, and they will, you know, and over the years, you got to see the same kids. And so you got to hear more experiences. But I'll never forget the first time I went, I had a young girl say to me that her mom has MS so bad that her and her sister both have to work. And then I was like, oh, wow. You know, that was my first experience. I'm like listening. And then over the years, we were part of the MS program where we gave scholarships. So we had to look at these stories. My husband would look at what kind of grades and stuff, and I would look at what they volunteered at and so forth. And we gave that. So it's so important. I think it's great you're going to talk about the kids in MS. I mean, it's just, you know.
Nancy?
I think sometimes we think that they do understand it, you know. And
Frank, go ahead.
yeah. So
Nancy, is Terry the friend you're talking about?
yes, it is.
Okay.
I'm gonna get her on, absolutely.
Get her on and tell her I said hi.
I will. I'm gonna talk to her tomorrow. Absolutely. Yeah.
Rick, how did your prostate webinar panel go the other day? Because that happened, I think, last month.
Well, the answer is good and bad. The good was the content was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
Was outstanding. The pairs were fabulous.
Mhm.
The bad was that our partner was responsible for the production, and they screwed up totally. We had 400 registered, and we could only get 90 people into the room. They had no idea how to run the meeting. They thought that you run it the same way as if it was a regular Zoom meeting or GoTo meeting. They didn't know how to run a webinar meeting, and we were not happy. But it is available on YouTube. It's available through our blog. And one of the really nice things that happened, which was just by chance is that one of my pairs dropped out at the very last minute because of a family crisis. And I put another pair in. The dad had a 17-year-old. And so we had a 17-year-old kid on there because all the other kids were probably between the age of 30 and 45.
Mhm.
And the 17-year-old kid was just a breath of fresh air.
Yes.
Mhm.
So terrific. And I think that I mean, we've had already a lot of hits on our YouTube channel and through our website, and you know, I blogged it, so people pick it up off the blog. But thank you for asking it. We love the content. And we are working really hard to make sure that the production work. We're doing our own production next time. And we're working hard to make sure we know what to do and how to produce it.
Well,
The
I,
content was amazing. IT needs a little work.
A lot of work.
for real, because Jennifer and I watch it. I mean, I would encourage you all go to the YouTube channel because I mean, it was like an hour and a half, was it, Rick? And I was just like, and we didn't want to shut it off. It was like it was so good and so engaging. So I mean, if you guys get a chance to watch it, I mean, and that's sort of what we're modeling, aspiring to get for this with multiple sclerosis.
Again, how do I get to it?
Well, the easiest way to get to it would be go to our blog,
Okay.
which is ancan.org, and then just go to the blog is listed as a resource, and then you'll find it on the blog page. If you just scroll down 3 or 4, you'll find it on
I'm
the
gonna
blog
try and
page.
find it right now.
I was gonna say because I've got it.
I'll put it in the website. But you know, we were very lucky because we knew we had a rock star for a doc to moderate, and so that helped. I mean, she's just wonderful. She's compassionate. She's smart. She understands the issues. So we knew she was going to be great. The next one is going to be on the 29th of this month, and it's going to be for ovarian cancer. And we've also got another rock star moderator as well. So I think this one will also be good. We haven't actually started putting the word out for it yet, but we will very, very soon. But having said that, yeah, this one was great, and I must say, and Jules, this kid was really great. And afterwards, he said to his dad, "You know, Dad, I never really understood all these issues. I'm so happy that I got to hear this and I got to participate in it with you."
Nice.
And you know, for me, that just grabbed me when he said that, because that was what we wanted to hear.
You want to know, yeah.
That's why we did it. You know, that's exactly why we did it. So it was very neat, and it was great. We were very happy with it, and I know that these guys are going to do equally good a job. I know it. It's going to be, because they've been telling me about the ideas that they have, and I think
I don't want to make a war with you, Rick, but the MS community is pretty awesome. So
we know.
any way you slice it, it's going to be an awesome program because
I'll try and get you Dr. Desai from Pittsburgh. He loves to do stuff like this. And he's the one who was at kids camp with. This is my husband, Jim.
Hello,
Hey,
Jim.
Jim, I was gonna say hi.
He's the music for MS guy. Yes.
Okay. So I just put the link in the chat window for you. So if you click on that link, it'll come up in your browser. You can look at it when you have some time. But thank you very much for checking in on that.
That was very good.
All right. Now, I just have to say to Mr. Pettipool, I did wave when I rode past your house a couple of days, but you didn't.
I thought that might be you, Rick.
I would love for you in this forum, maybe on the 28th, to speak to the guys about, it's too late now, but talk to them about your sleep issues. Because maybe they've got some really good thoughts for you on that.
If you can make it.
If you can make it, write it down and
Yeah,
send
I'm
All
it.
right.
going to make a note too to revisit sleep.
I've tried a lot of things, Rick, and was it Jennifer? What is her name? The woman with oils?
Jen,
Yeah,
Jen.
right. Yeah, I'm a guinea pig for her, and I haven't found anything yet, but I'm still trying.
Okay. Well, talk to these guys because these guys are the experts. They know better than anybody.
I look forward to.
Too.
Yes.
I guess Percocet is out, but anything else is on the table?
Okay.
One last thing too, I put the Myelin and Melanin podcast link in there. I know I sent it to Kim directly the last time. There's a 10-part series for intimacy that is in there. That's really awesome if you haven't listened to it already. And Jen, I will find you the specific link in there. I think it is part of the intimacy series. I want to say it's like the first or second. But they talk very specifically about like someone who has had the procedure was on the podcast.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I will check it out.
Yeah.
What I will do tomorrow before my doctor.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
This was a great group. Good to see you all, and
Have
Yeah.
a good weeks.
hopefully we'll
All right.
see you.
Yeah. See you in a couple weeks. Good to see you, Nancy, Jim,
Yes.
Elizabeth.
Bye,
Ready,
Michael.
Kim.
Bye,
Bye,
Frank. Bye,
Frank.
Kim.
Stay healthy.
All
All
right.
right, we'll see ya.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.